Welcome to another edition of Three Questions with Kevin. It's been a while, but we've been preparing for some really good stuff here. Brandon Steiner, that's why I'm wearing my pin hat. For those of you who don't know, I go to different baseball stadiums every year with my boys, and I get a different pin. And where better place to wear it than here at Steiner Sports with Brandon Steiner. Brandon, you are the first person I have interviewed. I've interviewed rock stars. I've interviewed people in film. You're the first person I've interviewed in your line of work, which is authenticated memorabilia, author, and so much more. So thank you so much for being here.
And also athlete procurement. But first of all, it's great to be here with you.
Actually, I'm here with you.
I like to suck up on the T-shirt. You knew the Brooklyn would get me. Because you know how I feel about Brooklyn.
I did not know that. Jack told me that you guys are associated. You guys have exclusive. I did not know that.
It's not only the exclusive relationship with Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn guy.
Okay.
You know, it's all about Brooklyn for me. So I feel like when you're wearing that shirt, I feel a little connected. I feel like we're back in the hood, back in the neighborhood.
Well, for the record, I've been a Brooklyn Nets fan since they played at the Coliseum. Way back when with Julius Erving.
Rick Barry.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
Me too.
So very well. See, so it's more than just Brooklyn. So anyway, the way it works is that. And by the way, I just had a tour of Steiner Sports. It is one of the coolest places I've been to. I mentioned that we go to different ballparks. We also go around the city. We've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We've been to the CN Tower. This is one of the coolest places with both my boys. We're very excited to be here. So it's awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm going to thank Jack on the way out.
Cool.
So the way it works is this. I asked you 3 questions. The only reason I'd ask you another question, a 4th question, is if you don't answer any of the previous 3 questions.
Fair.
Simple, right? Okay. First question is this. You guys have a lot of memorabilia. You have a lot of autographs. I'm assuming, I know, that you are also a person of interest for your own personal collection. So is there one person whose autograph that you personally want for your own personal collection that you have not been able to get?
Not really. First of all, my pursuit in autograph collecting, we've done over 25 million autographs at Steiner. So we're in this thing pretty deep, over 30 years, is to pursue things that I think my customers want, not what I want.
Okay.
In that pursuit, a lot of quirky shit happens along the way. A lot of crazy things happen along this road to landing a player's collection or working out a collection that is amazing. And when that happens, that's when my collectability kind of jumps in and like, wow, I really want something from this experience or this thing we created that customers jumped up and said, wow, I love what you've done, Brandon. This is really cool what you guys created. I like to think at Steiner that we have created a lot of firsts in this business. Mm-hmm. And that's my goal, is to just get people closer to the game. So no, the answer is there is no autograph that I would want that I don't have. Absolutely not. But there are a lot of autographs that my customers want that I am like a dog without a bone, and I will not stop till I get those autographs and get those collections for them.
That's great. Very cool. And I know you guys have autographs going way back of ball players from the Babe Ruth era and then some, so very impressive. Second question is this. Again, you've gotten autographs of a lot of people. You've met a lot of athletes. I saw pictures with you with everybody from Odell to Derek Jeter and Derek Rodman. Who's the most humble athlete you've ever met?
Well, it's difficult to answer that with one. I'm going to have to go a couple, but
that's fine.
There's
no right or wrong answer.
I've learned a lot of different things from a lot of players. Joe Namath walked in a room and said 2 hardest things: walk in a room and everybody want your autograph. Walking in a room, nobody wants your autograph. Joe is extremely humble. For somebody big in the life, when I first met him, always walked in this office, said hello to everyone. Real gem. I think Mariano Rivera is extremely humble and respects being a person no different or better than anyone else.
Right.
And also understands the celebrity part of his life and respects the fans. Respects the people that have rooted him along the way. Learned a lot from him. I think Mark Messier in a lot of ways is arrogant and tough, hard-nosed a player as he was. Extremely humble and a lot of humility in his ordinary, his ordinary everyday life, as well as being an incredible teammate. He's the one who showed me the importance of family and of team, and how you can and really can't do enough for your family, and how you can't do enough for your teammates, and sharing really the joys even if you elevated yourself up a little bit higher than the next person, because you've had a little more success, you can share those joys with your teammates and your family and your friends. He's the one who taught me to do that. When things are really going well, that's the time to share with all the people that helped you get there, and not to forget. And a lot of learning lessons from him as well. So many, a lot of players, they do come to the realization when you do accomplish something so great, humility and being humble, most of them do realize that it's much bigger than them, and the fact that they did well is really just an opportunity to go give back. It's to share that success and pay it forward, and a lot of players do, more now than I've ever seen than when I first got in the business.
Sure. Well, and what's good, I think, is you mentioned 3 players who are completely different in regards to where they played and where they came from. Obviously, Mariano came from Panama, and his first glove, I think, was made out of a paper bag or so forth.
You watched that video I did with him, yeah. I mean,
I've watched a lot. I'm real. I'm not one of these people going to yes you to death.
Same
if
here.
I say it, I'm sincere.
Yeah,
okay.
same.
All right. The third question is the most fun. It may be considered the toughest, but it's also the most fun. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
You've never heard this question before. You'll never hear it again. Here we go. Earlier this month, Mookie Betts bowled a perfect game in bowling, which I'm sure you're aware. If you and I were managing bowling teams made up of 4 players each, and they could only be comprised of the 2017 Yankees, and we had a draft, who would you draft? Now, before you answer, we're going to draft. You go, then I go, then you go, and I go. Till you have 4 players and I have 4 players.
Now, I have a history with bowling. I have a bowling alley in my house.
Do you know that?
And
have not been invited.
And the reason for the bowling alley, not to be over the top, but that was the one thing I did with my dad when we were kids. I had a very short time with my dad, died when I was 11. But the one thing we did, because my mom and dad were divorced, was we bowled on Sundays for a bunch of years in a row. First of all, you got to grab CC Sabathia. You know he's going to have the hook, so I'm going to grab him first.
Now I pick, okay? Tommy Conley, and I'm going to elaborate. He's a guy from upstate New York. What else are you going to do in upstate New York but bowl? Now you pick. Second pick.
Well, I want to go with the athletes, and you also have to go with people that, I'm going to go with Sanchez. I feel like, there's no way, I'm not sure he's got the hook or whatever, but I think he can throw the ball so damn hard that there's no way any of those pins are standing when it's over and said and done.
All right. I'm going to stick with my same theory. Have you ever heard Todd Frazier talk? You've realized this guy's probably spent a lot of time. I'm assuming that Todd Frazier spent a lot of time in the bowling alley, so I'm going to go with Todd Frazier.
I'm going to go with Didi Gregorius because his creativity is his ability to go figure things out in an intelligent way, and somehow he's got style. He's running up to that line and throwing the ball down the alley in a way that's completely unique and different. The guy's got style. He's got grace. I'm very impressed with this young player, and those are not easy shoes to fill. I'm very happy with my pick of Didi.
I'm very jealous, by the way, because I was actually thinking, mind you, I sort of cheated because I knew the question in advance. I knew I wanted, but I did want Didi, so you sort of ripped him off.
You got to grab a guy who speaks 4 or 5 languages and has "sir" before his first name.
But that doesn't help.
You got to grab a brother like that, man. He's the real deal.
All right, I'm going to go big also, and I'm thinking here in New York, I'm going to go with Dylan Betances. I'm thinking this guy spent a lot of time bowling, and you know what? I see a big guy in Dylan who spent some time bowling out is Dylan Betances. Now your 4th pick and last pick.
You did grab somebody that I was very much on my mind because he is a New York guy, and he's throwing that ball down, and he probably could throw it with the hook. I'm going to go with a guy you're not going to see coming, which a lot of Yankee fans are not seeing this guy coming, and that's Clint Frazier. You had the Frazier right, and listen, Todd's a New York guy, but Clint is somebody that he's one of those kids that can do any sport and play every sport probably and be well at it. And I think Yankee fans are going to be very surprised next year because this kid is the real deal too.
Hopefully they have room for him. I'm going to use your logic on your 3rd pick and your 4th pick and make my pick, who nobody would probably see coming. You ready for this? Ronaldo Torres. He's a guy also. He's not a big guy, but listen, my son bowls, and he's not a big guy, and you know what? He's a jack of all trades.
I'm going to go
Ronaldo. He will figure it out. So it might take him, if he's never played, it might take him 1 or 2, but he'll be good to go.
But the problem with this whole exercise on this 3rd question is that assuming that the players you picked and I picked are somewhat even, me managing this bowling team is a clear advantage because I've got the experience and will get my guys ready and have the right mindset where you may be at a slight disadvantage not having bowled as much and have the experience that I have in bowling. But good call on the 300.
But I've got heart.
It should have got more props. That's a pretty cool feat. Not easy to do.
100% agreed.
I'm thinking let's move off of football a little bit. Let's get more people, our kids, bowling. I think we're going to be all better.
You know what? Soccer's become a very prominent sport. Like I said, my son bowls on a regular basis. He does a good job. And you're right. Bowling has always been the All-American sport, and it's a fun sport, so I totally agree with you.
Like this interview, man, because I'm feeling like it's over.
Unfortunately, it is.
Is there a fourth question?
There isn't. You know what? The only thing I'm going to say is this. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it. If you ever want me to come in and talk to people here that you're doing with, I'll be happy to do it. And most importantly, to you, your family, and whoever's watching, this probably won't be up to after Thanksgiving. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.